John Anderson. Thank you very much. So, could anyone tell me where we are with the current scheduling resolution? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Marco, Special Mission of the Netherlands. Well, being put on the spot, and being in the eye of the storm of Tornado, let me try to update you on that issue. There will be a vote tomorrow at 10 in plenary after APAM, which is APAM is, by the way, also an interesting thing. It is a precursor, if I'm informed. And we concluded now that precursors are dangerous. You should put them in control. APAM is also dangerous because it's used for production of drug. However, we're now speaking about control of precursors. The next is going to be precursors. So in the end, we end up controlling everything that moves, grows, or is alive. And will people who produce drugs stop because CND banned APAM? No, of course not. They will look for alternatives that are possibly even more dangerous. But okay, we will not. It's banned in the EU, so I don't think anything interesting will happen then. Thereafter will be our Tornado issue. The interesting thing that the 71 Convention has a very high threshold for things to move to a schedule. You need 2/3 of the members of CND. Usually in the UN, it's half of the people present and voting. 71 requires 2/3 of the members, which is a lot. So unless countries like Tajikistan or Turkmenistan show up and vote in favor, which I think is unlikely, we're not going to get to that 2/3 majority. So the debate as such is very valuable, and that's one of the reasons why we put it on the table. I mean, CND talks a lot about supply and about demand and about drug prevention and about law enforcement, which are all very useful, important things. But the issue of medication, access to medication, the interest is definitely growing, but it's still somewhat of an odd issue out. And because we tabled this resolution, and that's one of the things that are very useful, delegations are considering it very seriously. I mean, it's happening mainly behind the scenes, you don't see a lot of it, but people are thinking about it and coming with questions. And well, the point we made from the Netherlands is pretty short. Like, look, we have here the WHO, they gave us some information. This dronabinol is useful. I mean, it's mainly used for pain relief and in HIV/AIDS and very serious diseases. It's useful and it's not abused. So let's take a decision based on that. And some countries follow that. I mean, there is support, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Many European countries support, Latin American countries support, so that the message comes across. There are also countries, however, who discuss it in their delegation and say, wait a minute, we need more time. And the arguments they bring to the floor are interesting and valid. Some say, I mean, this substance is not used in my country, so we don't have an opinion. I mean, many people work purely on a national responsibility, yeah? So I understand that they can't talk about substance they don't know. Other delegations have clearly a discussion between people with responsibilities for health and for law enforcement. They have a different view on such a matter. There are also delegations saying, well, there's not enough data, which is of course an argument you can always make. There's not enough data, WHO didn't consider enough data, so we need more data. And there are also countries, let's call it political arguments, saying, well, there is THC in it, and THC we should only put in the most strict schedule that we have available. You also mentioned the argument that as long as cannabis is available, this kind of preparation will not be abused, which is very valid, of course. But in a CND environment, I have to be careful with that argument, because I approached one delegate from a country, and I said, well, as long as cannabis is available, this won't be abused. And then he said, well, yeah, but we agreed that in 2019, cannabis will be eradicated. So then it will become a problem. And I think he was pretty serious about it. So this is the type of discussions you have. So that being said, I think it's valuable to have the debate on the table and tomorrow in the plenary, and not off the table where it was for a couple of years. And we will see what happens tomorrow. It will be interesting to see who votes, what everyone has different considerations.
Thanks very much, Mark. But are you feeling hopeful?
Not about the 2/3, but about an interesting outcome, yes.
Okay, yeah. Any more comments or questions? Oh, sorry, I have Tom from before.
Listening to this, we seem to be engaged in an endless war between producers and the regulators, which will go on and on and on. New products that we don't know what they do will come on the market. So I was thinking, well, is there not another system where you, at a certain point, allow the less harmful product on the market to counter all these new products coming on the market? I mean, that seems to be a sensible thing to do, and my question to Lilo in this case is Europe thinking about such a mechanism? You could put in the example of cannabis is there. If you're so worried about synthetic cannabinoids, well, why don't you allow a regulated form of cannabis on the market? More controversial would be that a lot of these products are in fact ecstasy replacements. We know a lot about ecstasy. It's not very addictive.